Gemini, welcome back for your September reading. For those of you who are new, welcome. If you're wanting to follow the channel, click the bell. We do live sessions regularly on the channel, especially connected to Twin Flames, and I'm trying to upload different styles of content to help us work with our block. So if you want to join us, come along, welcome. Now, last month was a pretty intense month, although there was a lot of release, there was a lot of, clarity we were coming through. This month, the energy is going to be slightly similar, but not. If anything, some of the energy and the applications and the kind of enlightenment you gained then, you're going to be applying and kind of semi-dragging through, but in a different format, okay? So where you're moving into it, you're going to be assessing situations still, and there are some planets retrograde, which I'll go into in a separate video. But the vibration you're feeling coming into the month is you're trying to get a balance because you feel some areas of life are feeling a bit unjust and unfair. It can be that, you're looking at the aspect of karma and you're saying, hey, where is this possible? When is the balance going to come back within this situation? Now, it can be, as I said, this is your crowning energy. So it can be your mindset you're coming into it. I also feel a frustration connected to some areas last month. This might have been in business, and I'm feeling heavier more so in business than anything. So work, money, the environment, your energy, some friendships as well. It may even be romance, but I'll hyperlink it back into the whole reading. Now, when it comes down to your chakra card, you've got the throat chakra. Yeah, you've got the throat chakra card, okay? This is about your expression, assertiveness, self-control, and direction, and you've got it in reverse. So regardless of how it comes up, it's an area that is going to be utilized. Sometimes you might have to really use it really heavily, and it's frustrating you. It can be that you're feeling run down due to last month, and it's affecting your throat chakra. You don't want to have to use your words to be able to communicate things. Some frustrations are coming through where there's cross wires. And especially with some of the planets last month, so it might be cleaning up loose ends and, chaos from last month's energy. You've also got your crown chakra, so it's things you're thinking, but balancing it to a point you can communicate it correctly. So, usually head and heart, it's not really, it's more head and communication. So try and use that this month, which I can see you guys be mindful if you're getting headaches, especially with your crown chakra. Try and keep your fluid up and try and balance it as much as possible. That can be with the food groups in those areas. It can be like blueberries, drinking lots of water to actually flush, yourself, so your clarity is open with you. And look, even with the crown, the utilization of your intuition and your crown is going to be working together as well. It can be a blockage when it comes to your intuition, but it's frustration nevertheless. Now, in your passions, pursuits, and vices, okay, in this area, this can be something that you dealt with last month because a lot of reflection was coming through from last month, and that can be us going over the past, looking at the 3D nature of what we're looking at right now, and then seeing how we can reapply on top of a sturdy footing. Now, that can be the new bricks of how you want your life to be, on top of how you want your relationships to be, how you want your work life to be, how your spiritual core self is traveling through that transformation, so to speak. And, what passionate pursuits you're moving towards and what you had in the past, but perhaps wasn't as successful as you would have liked or intended it to be. Now, this area that's coming up can be a connection. Some of you, it can be a soulmate, twin flame connection, or a romantic loving connection. Now, you can be looking at it and thinking, gosh, there were situations in the past, be it you're together or you're not, that were unjust. You were passionate about it and you're trying to bring the balance back in that area. Again, you're going to have to use your communication to actually solve these scenarios, as well as, try and use your higher self. Try and take it to the next level. Now, if you're not with them, it might be you're doing some 5D work and you're speaking your truth, but it's almost like from the 5D of the telepathic communication, and that's with yourself or with other people, you are going to have the ability to speak your truth. But some of it, it's almost like you're going, do you really want me to tell you what I think? And that can be last month's energy moving through. So try and keep it balanced and don't be afraid to speak from the heart. Now, there might have been some aspects where you felt you needed to do something, or somebody was manipulating you, you know, within your love life for some of you. And it doesn't have to be at a nasty level. It can just be in a way where you felt things weren't as balanced. So, as I said, the last few months has been a great deal of assessment, both in the way we interact within relationships, in connections, the use of vices to cope with our stress levels, the purging that we've experienced. So in a way, you looking at that area is positive because it's actually highlighting where you want that situation to directly be different. It's also where you may have had, you know, how would you put it? Coping mechanisms to deal with stressful dynamics, and that can even be in relationships. Now, in the house of money, and this is how you're going to be using your money this month, or where it's going, okay? It can be that, you know, you're really tired and you're eating out. It can also be that you're not as well, so you're unable to work as much, especially if you work with your throat chakra. If you're run down and it's out of balance, the communication issues are going to be there. And it can be crosswise at work as well, so be cautious around that. You know, as well as your work, if you're working in the spiritual realm, it can be kind of issues connected to your throat chakra. So, and it can be triggered from an emotional area or an aspect of purging within the realm of a romantic connection. Because where the money is going to go, and again, heart chakra as well will be directly linked to this if it's open, which I'm feeling it is. You know, you could be focusing more on relationships than money right now, and it may be that for some of you, and I don't know why this has just popped in, you might be taking your relationship to the next level for some of you. That can be even to a point where some of you might be expecting a child, and, you know, you might suddenly not be working and moving towards that energy. And that's even if you're considering, you know, the aspect of a child coming into a connection. But it's something is taking you away from the money spare, or taking your money up. So some of you that are celebrating, it can be also that you're using money in a relationship, and that's where the money's going to go. Now, in the area of health, you are nostalgic of the past and bored with the current routine. You're bored with the current dynamic in your life, and due to that frequency being imbalanced, it's causing you, especially with your finances, you know, if you're feeling unwell, and it might be you're getting takeout or doing something to that degree, and at the financial level, it may be directly impacting your health. But another thing that could be coming through is you're physically fatigued. So, you know, you're trying to recoup and repair, but something needs to change because it's almost like it's hit a stalemate. Now, you do want things to move, and it can be that you're really pushing yourself, and that's why you've hit a snag. So just be gentle with yourself this month if you are feeling tired. If you're needing to have a break, it's better to have a partial break or a break on that day than to keep pushing through the adversity if you're feeling under the weather. Okay, now what you're working towards, this can be a 3D job, or it can be a goal that you're working towards. Now, it can be your environment becoming more balanced, the working area being more balanced, or moving into a position that has a more harmonious energy. You don't want to be somewhere that is not balanced. Now, it can be working with a loving partner or working alongside a loving connection. And I feel a contact directly connected to love and work being a close link. But you're going to be responsible in that sphere, and it'll either be a job you physically love, or there will be a connection to a romantic partner in the workplace. Now, spiritually speaking, you know, you've had a lot of effort that you put into your spiritual core self. You've done a lot of evolving. You're becoming very grounded inside the core of who you are in your own new value system. And, you know, our values are really evolving. So, you know, you may be feeling, gosh, you know, have I done as good as I think? But really, as you evolve, it's almost like shedding a skin. You really are coming into your own this month, even if you are feeling like at times you're getting tired. You know, how is my month going? How are things X, Y, and Z going? But spiritually speaking, I feel you'll be feeling internally quite good on that level. But you need to give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, you're really in your mind also negotiating the new way in which you spiritually want to address the world and be within the world. So it may be a reassessment in your mind, and almost like you're using a filing cabinet to compartmentalize things in a new, unique way. Now, some people might be confused as to how you are changing, and again, be cautious for the miscommunication, because you mentally are up in your head actually processing at a great speed like a computer. When you're on fire, you're on fire. And the communication, remember, the throat chakra needs balancing. So again, miscommunications. Be careful, especially connected to partners, people you're waiting to come in to communicate with, and colleagues. Now, what is blocking you is, at the moment, even if you're unwell, after you're well, it might be having to tie up those loose ends. That's problematic. So if you were delayed in some areas of life, the delay is going to be past tense delays of purging or being unwell or unable to do certain tasks. It also, the block is not romance, it's you know, your body and you spiritually growing is pulling you back, plus the retrograde. So try and not take it personal. Now, what you're not seeing is you're doing a great deal of healing. So this is why the delay's there. And the planets are working with us, but in a way, in a different way that we physically might not be able to see, but our core selves knows intuitively things are changing. So try and just ride through that and not work against the aspect of it. Obviously, at a 3D nature, if there's things you can place your energy into, try and apply your energy into it, but don't take it personal when there's delays and miscommunication. Now, in the area of romance, couples and singles, again, you can be bringing some of the energy of last month into the beginning of this month. And I am doing mid-month readings, so don't stress. You'll get your update, but it will only be connected to romance. Now, it can be where there's cross wires and the whole aspect of the it can be where you're getting to a point you're feeling quite grand. Once you're on fire. There can be clash of wills within the connection, and the old aspect of pride comes before a fall. So if this person is coming towards you and you're waiting for them, and again, it can be a soulmate, twin flame, or deep connection, be it you're in it or you're waiting, you know, it can be either side really energetically. It may be you're processing that of which was a block and wondering if that is going to drop so the communication can come in. Others of you, it may be due to a 3D situation that transpired prior, and this could be at any given point in time, where it's coming up into highlight may be due to communication coming in, and I feel you're going to be quite surprised. You intuitively may know it's going to, for those of you who are single, but when it does, you're sort of, you know, stumped as to how to communicate with this person. And that's for those of you who this is going to be relevant. Otherwise, look at your rising sign. Others of you, it might be the whole aspect again of, you know, you're processing what transpired and you're trying to work out what is going on. Those of you who are in a partnership, this energy can be quite a stubborn energy where, you know, you don't want to speak about certain situations. You feel uncomfortable at that level, connected to some area. And it might be because you were working spiritually on a core area, mentally mustering up the courage for you spiritually to address it, that you haven't been willing to communicate that just yet. Now, something might have ended last month moving into this month, and it might be a mindset, the way in which you're reacting within a connection, or the way in which you're thinking about a past tense connection. This can be on your side or their side. Energies can swap. You are being cautious, and again, as I said, there's an energy of caution in the air, and it can be due to a previous injustice, connected to a soulmate, twin flame, or within this current connection. But you're going to have the actions and tools with all this meditation and your spiritual core self doing the work. You will gain some clarity on how to directly deal with it, but try and keep your chakras balanced. Now, this person, I do feel, if you guys are single and waiting, there is a proposal coming in. So, and this, as I said, can be from a deep soul connection, a person from the past, or a twin flame. Those of you who are in a connection and you're doing some healing connected to it at any level, it is going to move where it's going to get more grounded. But I don't know why, but I'm feeling spiritually it's the ball's in your court. That's what I'm hearing. Now, if you're wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link directly below. For those of you, I'll give you a heads up, I am going to start doing birthday readings via the website, and that's for purchase. So regardless, we'll have our traditional kind of videos coming through the month each month. If your birthday's on that month, jump through and it'll be September birthday readings, and they will be on purchase on the website, which the link is below. Also, if you do want to join the birthday club, it does entitle you to discounts regularly, and they're emailed through to you. And on your birthday, you can get a discount on a Skype, email, or telephone reading. So if you're wanting to have a look at that, feel free and jump through. If the video relates, click a like, and I'll talk to you later.